Hello there and welcome to the Drift Games vlog. As you can see, I have the top down in April in Ireland because I like to live life dangerously, and as you can see there is, actually looking at that, there is some clouds. We could run into rain. Anyways, before we get into the main subject of today's video, which as you can tell from the thumbnail is the E46, just a few updates. So we are back from Dubshed. Thank you so much everyone that was there for the support in the shop. Honestly, going there, we didn't realize how much support we would get going to a, let's be honest, a dub show. So great show, great time, great to see you guys. We'll definitely be there next year. Second of all, you may already know that the podcast is now on a audio version only. It may come back to YouTube. We still just haven't really figured everything out, what we're going to do there, whether it be a members or a new channel or what it may be. So just for the meantime, as a lot of you were liking the podcast, we decided just to do an audio version and just stick it onto Spotify. So we released the last one only a few days ago, bit of a controversial one on Irish drifting, and I think it's probably the most in-depth that Dave's ever really gone. A bit of a juicy one there. Third bit to catch you up on. So, as you know, the primary people in Drift Games are Dave and Adam. And Dave is, well, he's actually still in the country now, but Dave is going on his holidays for a week or so. Absolutely fine with that. Not had a holidays in a long time. So me and Adam were going to be heading up all the videos. And then, of all timing, Adam's now fallen sick. Not with COVID or anything like that, just feeling very unwell and unable to work. So that leaves me by myself to the videos, which is fine, I've done that before. But a lot of the jobs are fixing stuff and fitting stuff. So usually I'd get Wayne to help me with all that kind of stuff. Wayne is also sick. I'm not sure what the hell he's got again, not COVID, but not feeling too well. So out of the 4 people, I am now the one musketeer that will be dealing the whole video side. So unfortunately guys, you're stuck with me. Anyways, I've got a lot of plans for the next week, so we're gonna have a good time. On the way to the shed now, as you know, to work on the E46. Dave may be popping in a little while, even though he's supposed to be packing for his holidays. But then again, if you're a guy and you pack for your holidays, you know that lasts about 47 seconds of chucking things into a bag, zipping it up, and then realizing you forgot everything when you get there. So catch up with you guys in the shed and we'll talk through everything that we're doing today. So that is today's culprit, looking a bit sorry for herself, but hopefully it will look much better by the end of the video. But before I move it into the shed, I'm sure the shed is probably a tip with every single car in the way. Taking away for this. As predicted, the shed is full of cars. So I'm going to move a few of these outside, put the E46 with lots of space, get lots of things off the shelves, and get to work, I guess. I did actually film a time lapse of that, but I forgot to actually press the go button on the time lapse. So it's just magically appeared in the shed. So for those of you that don't know, just to catch you up on this car, this is Adam's E46. Was Dave's, but then sold to Adam because, let's be honest, I think it's a little bit too much grief for Dave. So this started life as a 1.8 E46, and now it has a 2.5 engine in. So that's kind of all that's really been done to it. On the shelves is a Cliq Tuning body kit. We have some lights, wheels, seats. So let's be honest, you don't want to hear me talking about it, you just want to see it get done. So let's get to work straight away. So I'm going to roughly fit this kit onto the car in hopefully not as long as I think it will take me. And then this car is going to go off to 888 Customs. So you may remember them. they put on the kit for this car. They realistically are the best people for fitting kits onto cars, so we wouldn't take it to anywhere else. That being said, this kit does need to kind of go on. The bumpers need to come off. I'm not sure if side skirts need to go off. I need to make sure everything fits and everything's there before we send it off to them. So, I don't even know how to take honestly don't even know how to take a bumper off an E46. I can only imagine there's about 74 million bolts. But anyways, we shall plow on, and as I say in all the doing videos that we do when I do it, if I can do it, you can do it. Because I'm terrible. First bolt, and as you can see, working on old cars, there is mud everywhere, which leaves the bolt, which was down there. So that's kind of set the tone for today's video. Like every single car that I work on, old pieces of crap are much harder to take apart. Any car that you work on yourself, be prepared to have a love-hate relationship with it. I have no idea, I'm not sure if you can tell here, but that is bent. I don't even know how you start by getting that off. This car is full of more surprises because any of you know me, you know I'm scared of spiders. For once, I actually hope to God that's a big body on the spider and not a bunch of eggs. And if they all hatch over the car, then forget that, I ain't working on this. I will say, anyone with an old car, I would highly recommend looking behind your arch liners because there's a build-up of absolute and that's the lead quarter of rust. Now the same on the other side. I burnt my lunch today, and I will also add, I feel like I've got myself into a fairly unique position where I do like working on cars, but I'm not very good at working on cars, so I can never really get paid for working on someone's car. But then somehow I've stumbled upon working on cars, and even if I'm bad, technically it's counted as entertaining. Sure, that's what you want to be hearing, Adam. Whilst you're off sick, and I'm here working on your car telling you this, but yeah, just had a realization of that. So for today's dinner, we have a tuna baguette with salad on. Is what it would sound like if I was doing the podcast on what I was eating. So, unfortunately, lunchtime is now over and we're back to this. I'm not really going through the technical side of how to take bumpers off and everything like that. I've just been watching YouTube videos. There's much better videos out there than what I can give because, let's be honest, I'm not an expert. Just to interrupt this bit, I have had some luck in the last two fiberglass kits that I've worked on because ideally what you're looking for is consistent line all the way down there, and to say this is, I roughly drilled the holes, let's be honest, and just put them in the original holes, original hardware, and all the way up. Like, as far as a test fit goes, and then this is the even more impressive bit. I'm not sure if this is good or bad, but there is a very consistent small gap. So the front of the car behind the camera is pretty much together, roughly, waiting for AAA Customs to finalize it and make it, tweak it, make it better. Probably tell me I've done a useless job, but at least I think I've helped him a little along the way. Going away from that just for a second, whilst I was looking through the garage for tools, I found this, well, you may even say retro poster. Now this was one of our first batch of posters, I believe it was from about 2 years ago. And because I'm feeling generous, anybody that places an order this week, I'm going to randomly throw this poster, lovely poster I will say, nice and thick, into your order. So I'm not going to say who it is, just going to leave it for a nice surprise. And if you can give us a tag on Instagram to say who it was when you receive it, that'd be nice to know. So here it is. I will say this side was borderline perfect to go on. The bumper is only on with one bolt, so obviously, and I'm gonna leave it to the guys at AAA to actually put it on properly and mount it whichever way they want to. This wing isn't as good. I had to trim a little bit off there to get into there. The lines here are quite nice, but the line here isn't as nice. So again, it's fitting on the car. I don't want to drill the holes out any bigger. I'm gonna let the guys do it, the professionals, as I am the unprofessional. And the only reason I've left it jacked up is because you may have seen Adam had chosen wheels to go on it, but now they are gonna go on to another project. So, if you remember many moons ago when we had the blue E46, how good the Stroms looked. So we're gonna chuck a pair of the Stroms on, and we kind of think that the offsets will be borderline perfect for this kit. So we're going with the bronze DS25s from Strom. You probably know by now if you're watching the channel, these guys are a massive supporter of ours. They've been supporting us from the Game Changers product up until now, and you've seen these wheels on pretty much at one point every car that we own. And at the moment, there's not many in the shed with these wheels on. So we're gonna throw these on and see how sweet they look. Absolutely needs lowering, but that looks fairly awesome. That is some transformation from the standard wheels. They look awesome. So you're making a last appearance in the vlog? Well, yeah, not ever.
Last ever, yeah.
Just for a week.
This is my swan song, to come down and look at E46s getting chopped up by you. Yeah, heading on holidays tomorrow. And I said, you know what really cheered me up is to see you stuck in the misery of an E46 and I can just jet off and go, good luck with that, Josh.
That's actually about the 5th time I've cleaned my hands. How are your hands?
My hands are pretty good right now.
I used to have hands like that at the start of the day.
I've been doing office work all day. I've got everything tied up. This is my first 7 days off in a row in 3 years. So I'm very excited to actually just have a little bit of holidays, because when I come back, we go straight to the LZ Invitational in Englishtown in New Jersey, and then all the madness begins for the rest of the year. So good time to take a break. I thought that you've had enough breaks, so you should just be working on your own on an E46. And you know what, it doesn't look too bad.
I will say, I think I've got very lucky with fiberglass kits, because I did the fiberglass kit on my car and that was very good. And this one is actually...
It's pretty good.
I think it's actually come together really well. Obviously, it's not fit. I'm never gonna fit something.
I've noticed a problem.
Go on.
We're gonna need to change the headlights, because that kit is for a pre-facelift E46 and we have a facelift E46. Now, let me know in the comments before I order this. I presume you can just order the old headlights and put them in. I presume.
And the bonnet's the same?
I assume so.
It is us, so when has anything been that easy?
Well, already we've run into a problem and I've only been here 35 seconds. So let us know in the comments if you're an E46 guy, we could do with a bit of help here. Will the old headlights, because we now have the old wing, fit into this, and we'll just get like some cool black angel eye headlights. They're cheap enough to get, and then we might sell these ones if you're in the market for some facelift E46 headlights. We don't. I was
gonna say, if you need E46 headlights, there's some wings there, no rust, good condition. Yeah. The back bumper, I mean, that's actually seen better days, because I'm not sure if you can see in the footage, but yeah, it looks like Chewbacca's chewed at it.
So this is gonna, just to give an idea, this is going to go.
So it's kind of like essentially like us with a snapback.
It's a snapback
That's
spoiler.
like hat backwards. But you know what? It's like doubled up because you got a.
It's going to look so good. Like, it's going to look fantastic. That is a lot of aggression just in 2 spoilers.
Yeah. No, I think when the whole car comes together, it will be very good.
Yet, so we don't know what he's doing there.
I'm not fully sure Adam's decided a colour. He went to Dubshed and his eyes were just.
He fell in love, by the way, in Dubshed video you will watch back, he fell in love with the colour of a Clio, Clio, loved it, that was the colour, went to ask the paint code, turned out to be a wrap. So, no help there at all.
Well, can you convert a wrap into a paint code?
No.
Well, surely the wrap's based on a paint code.
I don't know if that's how it works. Let us know in the comments if that's how it works. Definitely isn't how it works. Luckily, all the mechanical stuff is done. It obviously has to be a lot lower. I love the DS25s on this.
I was going to say, I was mentioning earlier that on the E46 they look really good. So
I think they look way better on this colour on this car.
I'm looking forward to actually seeing this in.
We need a bit of spacage because she's come a lot wider than. If that was a standard car now, they would be way too wide. But because these wings are very aggressive,
you can actually see she has been cut on the other side. Yeah, you know what? They could have been actually perfect on the standard car.
They would. So if you have an E46 or a BMW in general, you can get the Strom DS25s in bronze or shadow chrome or black or white. Very reasonably priced. Tons of concave. Look great. But then if you go wide body, you got to put more spacers on it again because, let's be honest, we've done this many times now. The front is perfect. Almost.
I was going to say that's with no spacers on the front. It maybe need a 10-15 mil, but then again, those arches are actually a little bit wider than standard.
They're about 40 mil wider than standard.
Yeah.
So they're quite wide. And the back is definitely 40 or 50 mil. So this is getting a full respray. I still don't know what colour. Adam said he's going to decide on it. Adam's obviously sick at the moment, so you're giving him a bit of a hand. I came down just to make sure.
I was going to say, like,
I'm making sure
me and Adam have some tiffs sometimes. Like he should be nice to me for a bit now.
You get at least a day of niceness out of him for this. And also remember that I helped by coming down to see that you didn't set anything on fire, which is always my supervisory role.
I could have set myself on fire at least 6 hours in order beforehand.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of work to do on this car. It's not going to come together in a day or in this video because obviously, 1, there's only one person working on it. 2, we're still trying to figure it out. And I think Josh did a pretty good job of making it look how it kind of will look. You get the potential. That's all we wanted from this. I think this is going to be like a real dark horse of our whole fleet because I've seen the car done in Riga and it does stand out a mile when they're done with this kit. So I'm looking forward to it. And the next time I'm going to see you, Josh, we'll be in the airport in a week's time where I land at 7 a.m. in the morning from Abu Dhabi and then I get a plane at 1 o'clock to Englishtown. We're going to hang out with the guys, Night Ride, Monkey London, Adam LZ, Chelsea Denofa, Aaron Lousy, all the guys from Drift Week. We're going to see them all next week, which is really bizarre because it doesn't feel like it's next week away. We're really pumped on that. We can't wait to go over and catch up. We're obviously going to keep the cameras rolling on that. Oh yeah, I bought a new car. I sold the car and bought a car. So I sold the GX100. Sad face. I was basically pushed into it by Gary Dunn, who's, as you guys don't know, his dad Tommy helps us with all the cars. He sold his drift car. He wanted a nice road car. He fell in love with that. He wound me up for about 3 days. I tried to buy another car. I sold it to Gary on an agreed price. Tried to buy another car. The other car didn't work out, and I ended up with no car. And Gary got the GX100. But I'm pretty happy because it's only across the road, and Gary's going to bring it to all the shows anyway, so you guys will see it. And he's actually going to do a full 1JZ conversion with the engine that you guys saw me pick up in the Middle East. So he's doing all that. That was all sold together. And I bought another car, which nobody in the world will guess what I bought. But we have
Wow, that's a...
I guarantee you not one person in the comments will guess it. I'll tell you what, if you guess...
You know what? I think you have to put something up there if you say no one's going to do it.
If someone guesses it in the comments, the first person that guesses it correctly, and I don't mean put in like every single model of every car, you can only guess once, right? Per person. I'll send them a t-shirt.
Watch 100 people guess now.
I don't think so. I think this one's a bit left field. And it's not bought in... I didn't buy it in Ireland or the UK or the Middle East or Japan or the US. Now, that's a thinker. Right, Josh, I'm going to leave you to this misery and I'm going to go on holidays for a week. And when I come back, I hope you've made lots of content, lots of cool stuff, and I'll be watching it. Probably angry. Don't damage any of the cars. Don't blow anything up. Keep Adam O'Connor away from every car in this garage when I'm away.
You're going away and we have all these cars. We can do whatever we want and you can't say anything. You just get
I
that...
can say something, I can't do anything.
Yeah, you just get that sort of feeling of like, something's happening.
And I go, something's happened. Something's gone wrong.
And
Yeah.
Adam will be down the road, flat in the Spirit Ray car, and obviously he'll break it because he breaks every car now.
He's a tough man in the car. So let us know in the comments, guys, what you think. A, Adam's going to paint the car. B, if you can put pre-facelift E46 lights on a facelift E46, that's kind of important right away to let us know. And 3, what car do you think I've bought? Sold the GX100. What's next coming to the channel? I'll give a free t-shirt of someone to the first person who gets it right, if anybody gets it right. Thank you as always for watching. I'm excited to take a week off, but the next week of content with Adam and Josh might be a bit sketch. Who knows what's going to happen? You're going to have to tune in and find out. We'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.